Yo, 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 what's up, you degenerate motherfuckers? It's Sluggish Suitor coming at you with another banger of a video. Now, I know I've been gone for a while, alright? My apologies, guys, my apologies. I was wrapped up in some shit, alright? I got a court date, alright? That's for another video, alright? I got a court date coming July, I think it's the 27th or the 31st. It's one of them. One of the two, alright? I don't remember this time. Anyways, boys, today we're going to be talking about the time I bought drugs from the gas station. Yeah, you all heard me correct. Drugs from the fucking gas station. But before we get into the video, I just cracked open a Michelob Ultra, unfortunately. Only thing we have right now. And I got me a can of Grizzly Long Cut Wintergreen. So let's take a sip of this Michelob Ultra. If you're got something open with me, take a sip with me, alright? Cheers, motherfuckers. Tastes like piss. Alright. So, this story starts off. There's only one other person that's with me in this story, right? And we'll call him AD, alright? So me and AD, we decide we want to go on a little bit of an adventure, okay? So, we pack up our bags. Now, it is a Sunday, so right after work, I drive down to AD crib, alright? Grab all my fish and shit, because, what we want to do is we want to go down to Lake Erie and catch some fucking slobs, alright? So, me and my boy AD, I pulled up to AD's house. We link up. I spend the night at AD's house. And then Sunday morning at like 4 a.m., we go, not Sunday morning, Monday morning, because I don't have work on Mondays. So, Monday morning, we go ahead and we head out, alright? We hit the lake, alright? Have a fun time at the lake. Now, it's Tuesday, alright? Come into the afternoon on Tuesday. So, as we start venturing back, from Lake Erie, we stop at this gas station, alright? Now, this wasn't no ordinary gas station, okay? You see, this gas station, it was definitely a small family-owned gas station, okay? Now, let me tell you guys, for anyone watching out here, if you need to find a place that does an ID, go to a family-owned gas station. I'm telling you, or like a drive-thru, family-owned gas station or drive-thru. It's going to be like a 50-50 they don't ID you, okay? But anyways, back to the story. So, we pull up to this gas station, right? They have Hunt Brothers Pizza, because that's what we originally came in for. We came in for gas and Hunt Brothers Pizza. So we walk in. After we get gas, we park up, walk into the store. We're looking around. We see the pizza man, and we're like, yo, how long on the pizza? And he was like, yo, give me another 10 minutes. So we're like, all right, no problem. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be cooked, I can't go wrong with the freshly baked pizza. So, we wait. We go around looking at the store. I saw the crate. Did you guys know they had canned Wendy's chili? Like what the fuck? Canned Wendy's chili? Hell no. That's just gotta be nasty as fuck. Wendy's chili already is nasty as fuck. But anyways, so, we wait. I don't know. It's probably been about a good 10-15 minutes by now. And in the time we're waiting, we hear the clerk, one of the worker clerks, and he was talking about how he wished he could have, bettered his life, He was explaining that, he's got a felony. He wasn't talking to us. We just overheard him, He was being loud. We were the only people in the store, But as we were walking around, me and AD noticed something that stood out from anything else in the store, and that was a Cherry Geek Bar. Now, that Cherry Geek Bar, alright, we wanted our hands on that thing, but there was one problem. We didn't have IDs, okay? We were not of age, not even by a bit, okay? Let me take a sip real quick. Cheers. So anyways, that catches our eye. And we hear the gas station clerk talking about how he used to be a felon. So, we start talking to him. We're like, yo, what's good, homie? And he was trying to explain to us. He was like, if y'all really want to make some money, you just gotta keep hustling every day. Now, I don't think this guy really knew who we were. All right, me and AD, we know a thing or two about trapping. Okay, so we explained to him like, yo, homie, we know how to hustle. All right, we know how to sell our product, get it for a low price, distribute the product, and make a profit. Okay. So he was cool with that, and he boxed up ourselves a large pepperoni pizza. He put it to the side, and just when he was about to ring us up, he looked over both of his shoulders. He looked us dead in the eyes, right? And he said, y'all want to buy some weed? And me and AD, at the time we were dry. I'm not gonna lie, we only had a couple yards on us. We couldn't decline the offer, okay? We couldn't decline the offer, but there was one thing he had to do for us. We said, in order for us to buy off him, and we were only going to buy an eighth, nothing too crazy. In order for us to buy weed off him, he would have to sell us one of them lime cherry geek bars. All right? I think that's a pretty fair trade, okay? And it took a little bit of convincing, He was like, how old are y'all? And, we were honest. We told him our honest age. And let me tell you, this man literally turned all the way around, pretty much tilted his head up at the sky, and he was just pondering. He was thinking. And the first question he asked us after that, are you guys the feds? And we were like, nah, man, we ain't the feds, man. You don't even gotta worry about that, bro. Don't even worry. We got hella shit. Don't even worry about the feds. Alright? So eventually, we gained his trust. He brought us to the counter, right? We got a pizza, and then I think we got 2 or 3 drinks. And, we got the geek bar. Alright? He ended up ringing us the geek bar, canceling the age verification on that hoe, and we bought our geek bar. Now, the story doesn't end yet. So, he told us to meet him around back for the 8th that we bought. And by the way, very reasonable price for the 8th. We only ended up paying about $20 for an 8th of grape gelato, which it's not the best price, but it's not a bad price, okay? Especially for some random dude we found at the gas station. So anyways, we're like, alright, bet. We walk out this gas station. We get in the car. First thing we do, look at the pizza. Make sure everything's right with it. Everything's straight. Which it was. That pizza ended up being good as fuck. So, we pull around back. Instantly, get the geek bar out. Open that bitch. Unwrap it. Hit that bitch. We start smacking and doing crazy vape tricks with it. That bitch is high as fuck on nicotine, bro. Them geek bars, man. Ooh, they got a lot of nicotine in it. I'm gonna go ahead and take another sip, and I think I'm gonna pack me a lip of this Grizzly Long Cut Wintergreen. So, cheers, my friends. Warm piss. Alright, let's go ahead and pack this lip and continue on with the story. Going on about a half can right now. That's a pretty fat lip. So anyways, that's all I'm saying. Me and AD pull up to the back. Unbox the geek bar. We hitting the geek bar. We doing hella tricks with the geek bar. Now let me tell you, me and AD go way back. I'm talking like, I've known this guy since I was like 2 years old. You know what I'm saying? We started, like, I started vaping when I was 11 years old. So, I know how to do some tricks, alright? That's all I gotta say. I know how to do some vape tricks. So we were hitting our vape tricks, doing our thing, waiting for this guy to come out the back of the gas station. And finally, I look in the rearview mirror, and there he is. There's our good old boy, waiting for us. So, he told us to get out of the car. So we ended up hopping out of the car. We went on down. He ended up opening his trunk. Now, in this trunk, he had a toolbox, right, that was held down by 3 ropes, and it was just staying still. And he ended up opening this toolbox, and man, when I tell you it was filled, I mean, it was filled, man. It was filled with edibles, carts, pre-rolls, flour, anything you need, alright? Now, he offered us 2 strains. It was the grape gelato, and I think it was like white cherry gusher, or it was something along those lines, alright? Now, me personally, I would have chose the white cherry, but AD, well, he was the one, obviously, he was the one paying for it. You know, I wasn't even gonna, like, I didn't give a fuck about this weed, alright? I didn't know if it was gonna be boof boof or what, but yeah, our boy AD, he ended up copping some of that, the grape gelato. So he bagged it up for us. He was like, you guys need anything else? We looked around for a little bit, and we were like, man, we just dropped like what, 25 bucks at the gas station on the Geek Bar and the pizza alone. We're good. All right, we still got some fishing to do. Okay. So we dab him up. He's telling us some stories. This is the one thing that I will always remember that he said to me. He said, if you have shit on you and you ever get pulled over by the feds, run. And I will remember that for the rest of my life. He said, run and don't stop running. Always keep running. Because if you get caught, that's time out of your life. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, we dab him up. We exchange information, you know, because we can work in the future. He's in a different area that, you know, we're not from. So, you know, he might know some other links. So we dab him up, and we go on our merry way. I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, listening. I hope you guys have a great night, evening, morning, wherever you guys are in the world. And I'll see you motherfuckers in the next video. Peace.